We need to do a much better job and make it a mission nowadays to really pray for our children. We really need to pray for our children, especially in this day and age where children don't go to church a lot. They don't have guidance, they don't have counsel, and the world is really their influence. We be forgetting that we're on our own walk, that we're really trying to seek the Lord for ourselves, this, that, and the third. And we're forgetting that we need to pray over the children in our family. Whether you're a parent, you're a grandparent, say if you don't got no kids, you're an aunt and uncle, you got nieces and nephews. Your neighbor kids or kids that you know influence you. If you a coach, if you're a teacher, pray over the children. Pray over them. It don't have to be all super extensive and deep. Just ask the Lord to keep them surrounded by, the angels' protection, grace, leadership, knowledge, wisdom, encouragement. Also, pray over their self-esteem. Pray over them to have discernment even at their young age. They really need to have prayer. Pray over these kids. It's very important, because if we don't, do you think the enemy is not trying to come get them at an early age? The earlier the enemy can get them, the much better, because then the less influence you're going to have to sway them back to, over on the good side. I was reading in 2 Kings, is chapters 18 through 19, I believe. It was a king, hold on, I took notes. Hezekiah. So Hezekiah was one of the greatest kings, and he had the Lord with him because of such. Like, he's the only king that turned the people from Judah from sinning, not to continue to sin. He turned down anything that was of other gods, like he destroyed them. Even if it was something that was glorified, that was in good intentions to have, that like Moses created in the past, that got rid of snake bites and whatnot. They were worshiping that too much, to the point where he even got rid of that, right? But then in the next chapter over, well, a couple of chapters down, it showed that his son, Manasseh, he was one of the most wicked kings. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, how is it that you got a representation of a father like King Hezekiah, that does so right by the Lord, blessed by the Lord, walk with the Lord, and you turn out to be like that? But then that leads me to think, a lot of us you're forgetting the children. Yes, your steps matter, and how you walk with the Lord, it really do matter, because how you walk shows them how they should walk with the Lord, how important it is to be with the Lord. And that's good. That's really good. But don't think the enemy don't come after your the rest of your sheep, the rest of your flock. Don't think that like he comes after the babies. Like, think about it. When you got animals out there in the wilderness, right? And you got something like a wolf or a hyena trying to come, do you realize that they go after the babies first? Honestly, they try to go after the children because they're the most vulnerable. They're the most easiest to manipulate them. They go off away from, the protection of the parents, and they got lunch. And it's easier. So yes, while you need to be a representation and monitoring your walks and making sure you're good with the Lord and your house is prayed up, no, you also have to pray really desperately. You need to pray, and I express this very hard. Pray for these children, because they're the next generation. They don't know no better. They don't know what you know. Yes, you may install certain things in them, but it's some things that the Lord's going to have to take over for them to understand at the level that they are, that you may not be able to get through. And since they don't know how to pray for themselves, really, or they don't know what to pray for at their age, or some of them just don't do it unless you force them or tell them to, it's your job, it's your duty to pray for them. These children need prayer. They need protection. They need guidance. They need to know who they are so they can stand against when, evil comes knocking, so they don't fall for it. Think about it. The main time that you were swayed to doing wrong or really to sin, what age were you? You were very young. You were young. When sin came, when you were done bad, really hurt. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't happen when you're adult, but when did it really get you when you was the most vulnerable? You were young. You were naive. You didn't know any better. It's our responsibility to protect them in any way possible. That's not just physical and providing for them financially it's also spiritually in their relationship with the Lord. That's on us until they get of age, when they leave the nest, and you just have to trust in the Lord that, hey, what I gave them and the tools that they got, they can go off on and use it and utilize it to the best of their ability and how they know how to, that I taught them. And now the Lord will guide them from here, and I have to trust in the Lord. But until then, it's your duty. It's on you. It's on you. So sometimes when these children be going through what they going through and they acting out and you all mad and you looking like, where did they get this from? And da da da. Just know, I'm sorry to say this, and I say this with love. I say this with so much love, but you have to reflect on yourself and look at what you didn't do. What protection did you not do? You did spiritually. What didn't you do? What part did you play in that? What loopholes did you leave open for the enemy to come and attack these children in your family? And this is, like I said, it's not just for parents. This is for people who are aunts, uncles, influence of children, such as teachers, coaches, neighbors. It's children all around that you'll have some sort of relationship with. And if you don't per se, let's just say you don't, then you know somebody who do, that you can pass this message on to. This is the children of our generation. This generation is very lost, to be honest with you, because everything is so easy to influence them and sway them just really as a snap of a finger. And they just doing whatever the waves say, no matter how bad it is. And they always got an excuse to really, oh, I'm liberated and I'm just in my own body and I have self-positive, all of that. And we know what that is. Come on now, there's an excuse for bad behavior. Come on now. So I got on here because I feel like that is I know for a fact that's what's missing. And the Lord needs you to do your part to take care of these kids and make sure that they are guided, looked after, not just physically, not just material wise, but spiritually. Please look over these children. Pray over them every day, every night, even when they sleep. I don't care how small the prayer is, how lengthy it is. You can pray over any and everything over these children. They need it. Their life depends on it. And it depends on you. You're responsible. You heard it first. Stay prayed up. Stay blessed up. All right.